Electric folding bikes have become popular accessories aboard motorboats. They're small enough to fit in a lazarette or even a deck locker sometimes, and being electric, they mean you can explore the local area or carry heavy provisions without working up too much of a sweat. This is the MiRider One. Prices start from £1,300, so it's sort of in the mid-range for an electric bike. Built here in the UK, up in Lancashire actually, and I've been living with it for a few weeks now, so let's delve into what it has to offer. Let's talk about the spec then. The frame is magnesium alloy, the bike weighs just under 19 kilograms all up. You have a 250 watt brushless motor here in the rear wheel hub, and there's a 36 volt battery mounted inside the frame. It is removable, so you can charge it inside your house, or you can just plug the mains charger directly into this slot here and charge it inside the bike. Nice thick tyres as well, makes the ride a bit more comfortable. You also have some shock absorption here, and you control the amount of resistance you want from this LCD screen up here. You can turn it on and off here, you can change the amount of resistance, you control the LED light on the front as well, and to activate the assistance you either pedal and it helps you automatically, or you have a separate throttle you can use here if you don't want to pedal at all. So obviously the whole point of a folding bike is that it folds down, so let's give that a go, shall we? See how easy that is. So you can drop the handlebars. Just slide down like that. Pedals, they're quite easy, just twist and they fold up quite simply. Then you can fold the frame in half, and this way, like that, and then it will stand. And then you can either drop down the saddle, that drops right down, or you can take the whole thing out and slot it in there, because the whole thing will fit into a carrying case. But that's the size it goes down to once you've folded it down. Doesn't take too long either, reasonably quick once you've got used to it, and it's a pretty simple process to get it back into bike mode again. But it's reasonably easy to lug about. At 19 kilograms it's not super light, but it does at least fold down quite compact, and actually there's a magnetised section here, so the two parts stay together, so you can pick them up and carry them pretty easily. Yeah, for an electric bike it's not too bad. You're not going to be wanting to hump it in and out of lockers or the lazarette too often, but occasionally it's going to be absolutely fine. Here with the frame in half, you can see where the battery is stored. You have a key, means you can unlock this compartment, and then the battery simply slides out, so you can take that inside if you need to. Now, as I said, it will fit inside a bag. You also get this handlebar bag which you can store bits and bobs in when you're on the move. This is the bag it goes in. It's a little bit cheap feeling, but it is at least a good size, so not too difficult to get it in there on your own, he says. Goes. With practice all this stuff gets easier, but then you've got something that you can sort of carry. Again, it's not something I want to be doing every time I use the bike, but it's useful to have it just in case. Now I think I'll get it back out the bag, take it out on the road and show you what it's like to ride. I find the pedals really fiddly. They're such a simple mechanism, but I always struggle to get them back in. Fine to clip up, but slot them back into the place is never that simple. So what's the MiRider One like to ride then? Well, once you've got over the usual folding bike things of everything feeling a bit smaller, a slightly strangely shaped frame, and the fact that it's upright, it's actually a very comfortable bike to ride. It's got a proper saddle, which has got a good amount of padding, and this is where those thicker tyres really come into their own. It means it rides over rougher surfaces and little potholes and things much more comfortably than bikes with lower profile tyres. It is a genuinely comfortable bike on the road, and the way that the assistance comes in is very smooth and very slick as well. I've got it on setting 3 now, which is just a nice cruising assistance. You don't really feel like you're getting much help, but it's very easy to cycle, of course. If you put it up to level 5, where your top speed is technically 15 miles an hour, but I've seen 30 miles an hour on the speedo going downhill, it now feels genuinely brisk, and you cover a lot of ground very easily. What I've tended to do is really keep it on 3, but I'll take the resistance right down to 0 when I'm out on a longer ride, so you get a little bit of exercise, and you want to be able to feel a bit of a burn, that you can take the resistance off. But if you know there's a particularly nasty hill on the way, you can reserve some power. Now the range is 30 to 35 miles, so they say, and that's rung pretty true with me. I can't work out the reading on this LCD screen. I can see the battery level, but there's no sort of how much battery life you've got left, the distance or the time, the amount of battery life you've got left in a measure of time, which is a bit frustrating, but you get your speed and distance information. And it's worth conserving your battery, because one of the downsides of the MiRider 3 is that you don't have any gears. It's a geared electric motor, but you don't have any physical mechanical gears. So if you run out, then you're sort of stuck in what you'd call maybe 3rd gear. You know, it's a single gear bike. So then if you're on some more hilly terrain, it can be quite hard work, and you haven't got the help of the battery. The handlebars are a little bit thin. The padding on the handlebar grips is a little bit thin for my liking as well. You do a bit more cushioning there to make it a bit more comfortable on longer rides. But for what this bike's designed for, commuting, and for, say, for boaters going out the marina, going to the shops, going to explore the local area, its performance is absolutely ideal, and it's an enjoyable and fun bike to ride. They say they wanted to make a fun electric bike, and it is. It is an enjoyable bike to ride. It's fun, especially when you've got level 5 assistance. It feels genuinely brisk. And I'm pedalling now, but as I said, you've got that push throttle, which doesn't give you full speed, but it does give you an element of electric assistance without actually having to pedal. I've been riding the bike in London a lot, and what I particularly like is when you've got the assistance on, especially on level 5, you get a good boost away from the line. So if you're trying to get ahead of traffic or other bikes, and as soon as you start pedaling, it really shoots off quite quickly. Of course, you have disc brakes at either end, so you know the brake performance is going to be pretty good, and it is. They're not too snatchy, nice and progressive, but you can stop quickly if you need to. You might have to if you're travelling along under assistance level 5. And I go back to what I like most, I think, is how smooth the assistance is when it comes in. It's not jerky, it feels natural, it doesn't suddenly shoot you off your chair. It all comes in very naturally, actually. And of course, if you're commuting and you have to wear a suit, you know that you can probably do it on this. With the amount of assistance you've got, you won't get too much of a sweat on. But then you can cancel the resistance and use it for exercise, or do a bit of both. You can really boost the range if you do it that way. If you don't have assistance on the whole time, you can almost double your range, which is quite useful. How to summarise the MiRider One? Well, let's start with the good bits. I think it looks great, it's fun, it's a bit funky. You can have it in orange or white, but I like this grey. I think it's a bit more subtle. It's great to ride, and I really like the way that the electric assistance is integrated. It feels natural and smooth, comes in really easily, and the fact that you can use either the pedals or the throttle, that's nice. It's comfortable too. Go back to these big fat tyres, they do make it a more comfortable bike on the road, and it would probably fare better on more rutted tracks as well. What about the downsides? Well, it's quite heavy, but that's sort of par for the course with electric bikes. It has no gears, so that could be a bit of an issue on longer rides where you may run out of battery life, and they could do with making these a bit more comfortable, because on longer rides they're a bit thin, make your hands hurt. The accessories as well feel a little bit cheap, but in general I think it's a really smart package, good value considering how nicely put together it is, and I think it would be a welcome addition aboard your boat.